Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're going to talk about what I think is $1 million skill. And you know what that $1 million skill is? Caring about other people, right? And I think that's a skill that's going to be continue to grow valuable in the future, simply because so few people care, believe it or not, right? And if you just apply like very, very, very basic economic theory to what I'm saying, you'll know it makes sense, right? So I mean, think about like if you could count the number of people on your hand who really, really care, not just about you, but just about other things in general. They're not living that zombie life and they're not living that shallow materialistic life where they just do things on social media and then when you see them in real life, like it's an empty shell, right? And think of all those people who are like that, and then think about the number of people on your hand who genuinely care. And if you apply basic economic theory, the less you have of something or the less you supply something, the more valuable it is in the market. So just the fact that there's so few people who care, that makes them incredibly valuable in the marketplace. And I know this just from my interactions with people, right? Um, so a lot of people, if you hire them to do a job, and I'm not saying everybody, right? So they'd simply just do a terrible job. And if you heard of something called Price's Law, it says that the amount of people, let's say in any company or organization, 50% of them, or I'm sorry, the square root of them do 50% of the work, right? So I think what's the square root of 100? Or is that, let me just do a quick calculation in my head. So what's 100 times 100, right? 100 times 100. Let me just pull out the calculator just because I'm not really good at math. So if you have an organization of 10,000 people, that means 100 people do 50% of the work, right? And that's 100 people out of 10,000 who care, right? Isn't that crazy? And that's just how life is in general. So if you ever been in like places with very big crowds and you just kind of get a feeling that everybody's just coming and going and nobody gives an S, that's kind of like Price's Law in action, even though Price's Law is more like related to companies. But back to what I'm saying is just that because so few people care, that's what essentially makes it a $1 billion skill. And I think a lot of people um, are affected by this. Like if you ever, if you read this CNN article, it says the loneliness epidemic. Nearly 1 in 4 adults feel lonely. New survey finds, and why is that? It's because so few people care about each other nowadays, right? And it's kind of been like that for a while. I mean, once upon a time, you kind of knew your neighbors, you spent time with your family members. I mean, think about like the progression of television shows and like the emphasis of the actors and the relationships within their settings. So, for example, like in the 80s and 90s, you had a lot of shows about families, right? Fresh Prince of Bel Air, even Married with Children, The Simpsons, right? We had a lot of shows about families, Full House. And then in the late 90s, what was it about? It wasn't really about family members. It was about friends, just like the TV show Friends, Seinfeld, um, I don't know, maybe Frasier, although Frasier was always hanging out with his brother. But there was more of an emphasis about how your friends were kind of like your new family. And then as media kind of progressed, what is it about now? It's about the superhero, right? So, and we could say that 2023 is like the year the superhero genre died. But before then, a lot of it was about how, you're the superhero, you're the star of the show, you have the superpowers, right? And so, if you take a look at a lot of movies these days, friendship isn't really shown in the spotlight. I mean, think about the old Star Wars, where Han, Luke, and Leia. You see them on screen; they have like good chemistry. They seem like they care for each other. And then you look at like the latest movies, like the Rise of Skywalker, the sequel trilogy movies, and they just don't seem like friends at all, right? And so somewhere along the line, our capacity to just have chemistry with other people and create actual relationships, authentic, genuine, organic relationships, just somehow kind of disappeared. Now, again, if you could be a person who just actually genuinely cares about people, doesn't mean you have to like suck up to them or do everything that other what at other people's whims. You don't have to do that. But if you just genuinely like care about them, I think that'll just make you more valuable than anybody, right? Don't you think so? And that's kind of how I'm training myself to be, or at least I've been doing that for quite some time. And you know what's funny? You know what I realize is like the ultimate caring about people? Responding to them in a quick manner. Responding to them in a quick manner is the ultimate. I care about you. You don't have to be lovey-dovey. You don't have to be, uh, in everyone's face like 24/7. You don't have to give them $1 million, but just responding to people quickly is the ultimate. I care about you in modern society, because so many people, because they believe that busyness gives them status, right? Busyness gives them status. They always respond really late, a day or two or a month, and then, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I know that I get sick of other people because the fact that they don't respond to me quickly, and I don't mean like super quickly at the minute that I send a message, but within maybe a day or two, a reasonable timely manner, is showing that they care about me. And so if you can create a business, doesn't matter what it is, where you have a process or a system, and this is why I think what's funny is that a lot of AI tools are there to kind of mimic that, but I always think that the human experience is way more powerful than whatever a computer can generate. So if you as a human can create that experience where in almost a systematic way, and that's kind of ironic I say that, but in a systematic way where you can just respond quickly to other people's requests for your service or good, you you'll be rocking and rolling, right? Like you're going to be a millionaire. That's what I think. And the other thing too is that when you show other people that, I think most people will actually make fun of you because they're kind of like abused dogs, right? So if you ever try to care for abused dog, and again, I've never done this because I don't, I've never dealt with those types of pets, but I just assumed that they're gonna have a hard time, um, tr- uh, you know, adjusting to your love and the fact that you care about the dog, right? And same with modern humans. They're so used to pretending to be busy for other people that they don't. Um, you know, they might even make fun of you for showing that you care about them. Isn't that kind of sad? I know it is, but here's the thing: caring about other people, has made me some good money, right? I'm not going to say I'm a millionaire, but I think I'm going to get there. I don't know when, but we'll see. Okay, so here's the thing: if we live in a society where everybody cared about each other, this probably should be like zero point 0.1 rather than 1 in 4 adults. So 25% of people say that they feel lonely. And what's unfortunate is that, people just kind of stop caring about each other. I don't know why. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we still had the internet, we still had computers, we still had TV. I felt like people cared a little bit more than they do now. And then, everybody these days, especially young people, they seem to gone a little bit crazy. And we have a new generation of adults who, um, I think, have gone full steam ahead with it's all about me, and I'm not going to care about other people or learn how to build genuine relationships. Not to stereotype them, and I certainly hope that there is a new generation of people who can do that, but it's just been my experience that even people of my generation don't do that, and the next generation is worse, and I'm assuming the next one will be worse unless we reverse course. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. I don't guarantee anything. I don't guarantee success. I don't guarantee that I'll care about you, but I'll try. But other than that, have a great day, and we will speak soon.